start sending us your video to go live.
Hey everybody. I'm not going to go into my spiel for a third time until we get confirmation that we're actually live. First we had no sound, and we got that sorted, I think. And then we went live, but then we didn't go live. So now we're just trying to get this all sorted, guys. I appreciate. No, looks like we're live. I'm going to double check. Hey.
There we go.
Hey, that's a me. Check it out. I'm live. All right. So, right. Streamception. So, welcome back, everybody. We're going to get into the whole spiel again here. Buffalo Trace Cigar, and we're going to switch to the other camera. Buffalo Trace Cigar. They're super yummy. Check them out. Send me a box. You know, whatever you want to do. Got an order for a copper coffee scoop. I will jump to camera 2 for that. I have a pre-made scoop from the last batch, and it's my last pre-made one that I worked on out at Paul's shop like 2 months ago. So those orders keep rolling in, which I appreciate. Thank you. So yeah, we already made the scoop. Now I'm going to put a handle on it, provided the technology keeps up with us tonight, and we can get that far. If we do get that far, then it'll be finished, and then maybe I'll do like a fire poker thing just to show the process. I don't have any metal thick enough to make a proper one, but we'll make a really small one so you can see the process. It's a step of, you know, a few steps to get it done. So with our handle, we're starting off with something that's very new to the channel. We've never done this before, especially live. We're going to start with a finish roll. So let's get started on that. I'm going to start off by making stuff square. So what we did there was make it square, and I started to bring that taper down. It's got a really ugly rag on it from where it was previously cut. So we're just going to push that rag to the very end, and then I'll cut it off on the side of the anvil, or it'll fall off on its own. Or if I feel to be particularly lazy, side cuts to just snip it off and make it look nice. So that's where we'll start. Ran out of heat, so we'll get that warm again. How was everybody's holidays? Did anybody do anything really exciting? Jump in the comment section, let us know. Did you get some cool stuff for Christmas? Any cool new G.I. Joes or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures? If this was 1991, I would be very excited to tell you all about the Ninja Turtles that I got for Christmas. But I'm 40 and I don't get those for Christmas anymore. All right, back to work here. Let's make this taper. Getting a little cold in the shop. A fun accessory for the shop. This will be fun in the summer and winter months. Let's put a thermometer up on the wall so we can see how cold and or hot it is in here. Brittany's over there making friends with the space heater, trying to warm up. I don't know if you can tell, but there's an opening in the door for the chimney thing. And so my toes are like little tiny icicles right now because there's just cold air sweeping across my feet. All right, back to work. papery there. Looks like we pushed that rag all the way to the end there, so that's nice. So now our next step is to get that all nice and round. Then we'll start curling it over. Something I try to keep in mind is with something like this, a person may not want to use it for, maybe they have a cool coffee bar and they just want to hang it on the wall or something. So when I make that first initial curl, I get a little extra big, so it'll be a hole in the middle, so somebody could put a nail in the wall and hang it up kind of deal. My sister, for instance, her whole kitchen is decorated with antique, like bottle openers and this, that, and the other thing. So maybe it's a display piece, maybe it's a using piece. I don't know. No one's ever sent me a picture of them using it. So all these coffee scoops out in the world, I don't know. All right, let's make some square stuff round. See how much my helpers have been paying attention over these many months of doing streams and stuff. Mr. Levi, how do we make square things round? What's the turn of phrase we use? Square?
Square, octagon, round.
There you go, square, octagon, round. Which is exactly what he said, you hit the high point. So you got a square and it's got corners, right? Those are the high points. You smack those 4 corners, it turns into 8 corners. You hit those 8 corners, it turns into 16 corners. And that's usually about the time when you can start just walking across the anvil and keep constant pressure on it and tap, 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 you end up with something that's really round. I'm a big fan of doing a couple extra heats if you want to, just to make them pretty. Did I have a southern accent when I said that? If you want to. My upbringing coming out. One more heat. Because the Wi-Fi doodad is low. Don't try to have. Fortunately, I did in fact, and I completely missed. That's usually a general rule. Blacksmithing, let it fall, because best case scenario, you catch the cold in. But what are the chances of that?
That makes me nervous.
That makes me a little nervous too, but I like the ingenuity of it.
You're all nervous for when you start hitting stuff.
Mm. Hey Levi, catch. How come the light's out? Oh wait, no, the light's just on the other end. We're good.
That sounded terrible.
Getting over it being a little bit sick. That's why we haven't been live streaming the last couple of weeks, because we have all been very sick. And Levi, the big slacker, went on a nice long vacation. I don't know if he got sick, but we weren't invited on the nice long vacation.
You went without me too.
Hmm?
You guys have gone on a couple without me and started playing.
Yeah. I'll allow that argument. I can't fight you on that. Oh no. That's awesome. When it fell, it fell. that heat just a little bit. It is cold in here, guys. I really appreciate you coming out to stand in this cold shed with me. Levi gets no heat from the space heater because Brittany is taking over. Heck, if I wasn't expected to stand in front of the camera, I'd go stand by that thing for a minute to warm up my toes.
Next thing we know, you're gonna be sitting flipping the floor and shit.
Falling over. Like Levi almost just did.
Yeah, Levi almost bit it hard. And then it would have been a loud thump and everything would have shook and all the cameras would shake and everyone's like, oh my god!
Earthquake! I didn't know we were in Japan.
Because only Japan gets earthquakes? Or because California can't earthquake because it's on fire right now? Which, holy crap, could you imagine what kind of chaos that, like, hey, you're on fire, here's a 6-pointer, enjoy!
Yeah. It was mostly just because a couple days ago they had a 6.9 in Japan.
They had a 6.9 in Japan a couple days ago?
Yeah.
Did it create a tsunami? It almost always does.
Yep.
Alright, let's make some square things round. Weird fish in there. Let me do one more deep try. It is cold out there. Anybody hanging out in the comment section with questions, comments, or anecdotes?
Not yet.
Alright. Ooh, I'm cold. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna come up with some kind of drapery, stitch some over here.
Yeah. Some heavy canvas or something.
Yeah, and then attach the magnets and be like, doot, doot, doot. Oh, you know, I have a whole bag of clamps that do that. You know, the clamps. Futurama reference. Brittany, don't give me that look. I'm not being weird. Well, I'm being weird, but
Don't say
not
being
original.
weird, 'cause you're-
But yeah, I could put some clamps on it. Do I have any canvas floating around somewhere? Or some burlap, because that's a fun one to say. There's a topic. Here's a weird topic. Anybody have any weird words they just enjoy saying? Think about it while I hit. You know, a fun couple of words stacked on top of each other that I think is fun is if someone said, hey, look at this document. Did you edit this document? And then you could say, yeah, I edited it. I mean, I threw an extra syllable in there for fun, but I edited it, edited it, edited it, edited it. Yeah, see, that's a fun one to put together. Ooh.
See, I share.
Look at you.
You just see him like kick his foot up, poking his heel on the edge of the thing and
Ugh. one for the blooper reel. Ooh, she's getting hot way too fast. Let's tune this down just a skosh. All right, let's keep working that penny scroll. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Opa. There we go. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh my gosh, it is so dang cold out here.
And we have temperature pretty good for what it is outside of here.
17 degrees.
So you people watching at home, we came out instead of 17-degree-ish cold just for you.
Just for you.
Out here, Chad.
It's so cold. My toes are frozen. I really thought this place was going to warm up a little bit, but that's the problem.
Made it
And
really good.
that's not exactly designed to put off heat either, so.
If that thing wasn't so dang heavy, I'd say let's take the lid off of it and just lean the lid against the door.
Right.
But that's
That shovel is heavy.
That's why I haven't set it up yet, because when I put it where it's going, I don't want to have to move it. So I'm just going to build it in place.
Actually, a lot easier to move as a complete unit than it is disassembled.
Maybe. It doesn't mean I want to. Situation where a picture hole would be handy. Love it when a plan comes together. Especially when I'm freezing to death. What was that?
I have a feeling this might be a short stream.
It's gonna be a short stream. I'm gonna try and get through this handle as soon as I can, while still doing a good job.
Warm your feet.
Oh, you're too kind, sir. Oh my gosh.
Made the last minute executive decision and put on those like lace line tights under my jeans. So I'm
Smart.
still cold. I'm definitely not as cold as I could be.
So yeah. So this new thing I started doing with my Etsy shop, just to improve communication and customer relations. The moment I get an order, I will send the buyer a message and say, hey, thank you so much for the order. I make all these by hand. I will make it in this time frame and ship it in this time frame. Goodbye. And so the individual that bought this one a couple days ago, he hit me back with a quick note acknowledging, the message. I think when we're done, I might grab the link for the video and send it to him. Be like, hey, here's me making your doodad. So if you're watching the video, thanks for the order. I really appreciate it. It makes me sad nobody wants a cigar rest. And that's fine. It's not a big deal. That's just the whole reason that all this exists. But I get messages all the time like, so-and-so liked your cigar rest. So-and-so liked your cigar. I probably got like 100 likes across the 2 cigar rests and 0 orders. Like, well, dang, I guess nobody wants those. Like, blacksmiths don't want them because they can make them. And you know, how many people go to Etsy and look for a cigar rest?
Well, yeah. How many cigar aficionados are on Etsy?
There's a lot of cigar accessories on Etsy.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've bought a few. One of these days when it's not too cold, I'm gonna come out and I'm just gonna do like 10 chisels, 10 punches, and then throw them up on the store and gonna just start making bulk stuff.
So like
March. Yeah, we had to blow up the store. So if you're watching this, what would you like to see on the store?
What's the thing that you use to snap the cigar when it's back too tight?
One more time?
a punch.
Almost. So it's a brand name called Perfect Draw. If you're a cigar smoker and you don't have one, go buy one. They're like $30 on Amazon. It'll change your experience. I love mine. It'll turn a cigar that's not breathing quite right into a cigar that breathes right if you use the tool properly. So yeah, it's called a Perfect Draw tool or a draw tool. There's a few of those on the Etsy.
And you make that compare it with your cigar rest.
Some cigar smokers like to use something called a nubber, N-U-B-B-E-R, nubber. And that's when the cigar gets down to a little tiny nub. It's basically a thing like corn on the cob holders, if you will. And then you stab your cigar with that so you can hold on to it and continue smoking it. So I've considered making those. A guy actually reached out to me one time on Facebook and asked if I would make some. Because there's one shop on Etsy that makes these small numbers. You get like 2 of them for like $20 or something. And last I looked, that store had shut down. And that's when this guy reached out to me. He's like, hey, have you seen these? And he sent me a screenshot. He's like, could you make these? Like, well, yeah, but I don't want to rip off that guy's idea. Because if he ever fires the store back up, he might be a little cross that I stole his idea.
So plan to make.
Yeah, I experimented. I experimented with a couple of number designs, but my problem was valuing my time. It took more time than it would be worth to make them. Like, I've seen some out there, like if you Google it, there are some pretty rough ones out there that are selling, but I don't want to put out something that looks like that. So I tried to make it nicer and stuff. Like I experimented by doing one that was like a horse head handle, and then it just got smaller and had the point, so you had a nice handle on it. But again, that took longer than it would bring it. One smith I know, his general rule is each heat is like $15. I can do a horse head shape in one heat, detail work in a second heat. That's $30. So now if I'm going to put a tail on it that's a pointy, or 2 tails that are pointy to stab a cigar, that's another 2 or 3 heats. So now we're looking at what, a $50, $60 number. And you can get on Amazon and get one for $5. You know, like it's all about the economics of it.
Yeah. Some people might take it for the artistic approach to it.
It won't be a big seller though. Kind of like my cigar rest, which are nice and cool. I should have a production model out here. I only have a prototype model out here. They're cool and stuff, but I'm underselling those for the amount of work that goes into them.
Yeah. Make 3 or 4 of them, stash them to the side. If they sell, awesome. If not, give them away as gifts next year.
I originally made like 12 or 15. I have like 8 in a box in my truck right now. All the other ones I've given away.
Well, I was talking about the horse head numbers.
I wonder if I just like spent an afternoon making those, if I could get really good at it, and then knock them out in like 2 or 3 heats, then sell them for like $40, and then everyone's pretty much happy.
I think that'd be the ideal outcome. When you go back to hammer, I'm gonna turn this fan on. Blow some of the smoke out.
Yeah, you're gonna kill the sound first. Yeah, again, just saying, I just killed a bunch of the heat from my cigar, which is handy when it's so cold your lighter gives up. You always have hot metal around to use it with a lighter. Yeah, project for this spring is in the triangle wall pieces. Gonna do one will probably be just like an air vent, that's just like passive, but one of them is definitely gonna be with a fan. And when the fan kicks on, the blades open up, and exhaust heat and smoke out. That'll probably be the powered one, if not both of them. I bought RV magnetic solar lights and put them above the doors, and then they got really cold and fell. Like the glue gave up on the magnet strip and they fell into the snow. Alright, so that's pretty much done. I usually, for the handle bit, this isn't a great measurement tool, but I use my thumb. If it's about the size of my thumb, then I figure that's about the right size. So it's about the right size right now, but it's not quite positioned right for the next step. So the next heat, I'll position it a little better. And then the heat after that, we'll offset the handle properly, and then we'll cut it and work on the other side. So we're good. Just curious, where are we at on the stream timer?
28, 50, 29 minutes.
29?
For this one.
Right.
Do you want me to add a placeholder?
No, those previous ones don't count. So yeah, like I was saying, if there's something you'd like to see on the Etsy shop, let me know. Slide into my DMs, send me an email. If you have my phone number, text me, drop it in the comments, whatever you like. I got a Brimstone Facebook page that rarely gets used, so throw some comments on that if you want to. All right. So we're just gonna center this up just a little bit more. So there we go, there we go. We have our handle, and you can see it's about the size of my thumb. I'm not gonna touch that, I hope. So now we're just gonna move that stem to the center, and that'll be the finish of our handle. You'll notice there's a hole in the middle for a nail. That's nice and warm. Oh, let's get that all nice and hot. My legs feel better, but my toes are still frozen. I really appreciate the heat. If you guys are suffering back there, you can take this back. I would do something about it, but I'm kind of trapped back here. Yeah. I will say, sadly, they were short-lived, but I am definitely missing the days when I had both doors open out here working and was comfortable. I miss those days. When I started hanging up pegboard and stuff for tools, I think I'm gonna get that foam, like it's like styrofoam insulation. I'm gonna squeeze it in there and then insulate it a little bit so we can keep in some of the heat in the winter time.
Sounds like a solid plan.
Yeah. My toes are a toll. All right. So let's do some plugs real quick. Why not? So DB_Forge on the old Instagram. Beautiful work. From the mold, he does cool art stuff. Ready for camera 2? Camera 2. I got these cool tools right here. It's got beautiful oil finish on them. I got an eye punch and chisel. Those are made by Coyote Iron Co. You can find them on Instagram. He's like a 16, 17-year-old kid. Oh, he just turned 17 a couple weeks ago. Happy birthday, Corbin. He makes beautiful tools. Oh my God, he makes beautiful stuff. It's funny, I was like, I'm gonna have to make myself a new chisel because mine are getting a little worn and I could fix them, but I want something a little bit nicer. And then I saw him one time at an event. It's like, that's a beautiful chisel. I'll just buy one from him. So yeah, then Sharp Bin Forge does beautiful, awesome work. He does some great stuff. He's live all the time. And then of course, Daniel's Real Estate. If you're looking to acquire or get rid of some real estate, hit up Daniel's Real Estate. He posted a house last week. He posted a house, and I thought, dang, I wish I was in the market to buy a new house because it was super nice. Oh, also, I don't have the money to buy a $300,000 house either. So that slowed me down. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. Oh, duh. Custom blacksmithing in Atlanta, Indiana. Really cool industrial blacksmith. He's been blacksmithing for 50 years. And that's where I take classes every Thursday night. I'll be there. So show up on a Thursday night. Be like, hey, I saw your stream, and we'll go grab a forge and I'll show you how to make some cool stuff. All right, let's move this handle piece to where it needs to go. Look at that, I don't have to do it once. So, yeah, you just hang it off the horn and give it a few taps, and then it'll recenter for you. So now, the task is to measure out the handle and cut her off. I like to do 4 inches from the inside of the curve. There. And then I'm just going to mark it so I can find it once it's hot. So there's just a little mark on there so I can drag it and find it on the hot cut. So now we'll get that part hot and cut her off. Man, we just blew the smoke out of here and I can't tell the difference.
I can see a lot of it billowing out front. I don't know if that coal's just real green or.
Some of it was. Also, I'm starting to notice that when that fan gets turned on, after a minute of it running, it starts sucking the smoke out of the forge and into the room, thus making the problem worse.
Yeah.
So you can only run that fan long enough to get the bulk out, but once it starts pulling from there, you got to kill it, or
Yeah.
you're bailing water out of your boat with a bucket full of holes.
Wonder if when we go through and re-tack it, if we put that just a little bit forward, so it's slightly towards the opening, maybe we can catch more of it.
Well, the major problem is if the fan that's outside that's blowing the smoke out, if it was more in line and closer and we were more like powered air out, we wouldn't have such a problem. And when this is a temporary measure. And when we eventually cut a hole in the ceiling or the wall or whatever, then there'll be a fan either up just on the outside or just on the inside, forced air out. So then it's less of a problem.
We should probably do just on the outside, otherwise trying to record in here with that on would be ridiculous.
A lot of the blower fans that I've seen and have been in the shop with, they're not super loud, so I don't think that'll be too big of a problem.
Sound at all that you don't want on the screen is
Well, it's a shop, it's gonna make noise, you know? Blacksmith shop is not a nice quiet place to go relax. It is a nice place to go relax, but it's not a quiet place.
just considerations for trying to keep the stream nice.
Yeah, but there's got to be a middle ground. You know what I mean?
I get that.
It is so dang cold. I really want to get this scoop finished so I can get it sent out. If we were just like making chain link or making this do that, I'd be like, good night, everybody. We gotta say, one problem we ran into with moving into the shed is we no longer have the space for that huge live audience that we used to shoot in front of.
Yeah. We can only cram, 10, 15 people in here.
Yeah, and it's cold, so they don't want to come hang out in the shop just to make jokes with me and blame you,
But the few times that they have been here, they've been pretty quiet.
Very quiet.
It's impressive.
Yeah, that mousy guy's really leaning into the whole mousy thing. I am so cold. I just want this to be done. I enjoy making it, but it's cold. We don't want a lot of noise on our live stream while I crumple candy bar wrappers real loud.
You're as bad because he got it, you didn't.
Maybe.
And to be fair, you can't really hear it.
But yeah, more on the development. There is a good chance in like a month or two, maybe throwing t-shirts up on the old store. We came up with a few slogans. We're not going to say them out loud because we came up with a really great one like 30 minutes ago. That's probably going to be the first shirt that goes on the store. So stay tuned for that.
Oh. Ian Security is asking what the cigar is.
Ian, I am smoking a Buffalo Trace. You want to hit the camera too? Buffalo Trace cigar. What's fun is Ian was over here Saturday night. Is that how time works? And he shared some very nice Perdomo cigars with me, and I gave him a Buffalo Trace cigar on his way out the door. So yeah, Ian, if you tried the Buffalo Trace, what'd you think of it? What were your thoughts? Why is my metal just not getting hot like that?
Because it hates us.
Right? Forge is making us suffer. Like, you haven't fired me up in 2 weeks. You know what I can do. I'm gonna set that aside, and then we're gonna blast the air real big so I don't burn the metal up. Get this fire real good and hot. Gonna get smoky. Smoky. Yeah, we're gonna let that coal get real good and hot. I wish I could remember the name of it, but a coworker of mine at the new company I work for that I started at about 6 weeks ago, a coworker of mine is a partial owner of a cigar lounge in LA. Oh, I hope it didn't burn down. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. But yeah, he's a partial owner in a cigar lounge, which looks to be a really cool place. I just wish I could remember the name of the place. I give him a plug, but I can't remember the name of it now. Boz Lounge? B.O. something Lounge. We had a meeting where we were required to have all our cameras on, and he saw my 6-foot humidor behind me, and he's like, "You might be my new hero." I'm like, "Yay me." So a few other guys chimed in about liking. Did I turn this down already? About liking cigars, so we set up a meeting with just us cigar people, just so we could talk about cigars and stuff. And he's like, "All right, everybody send me your address." So I sent it to him, and like 3 or 4 days later, I got a box in the mail, and it was like 10 cigars in the box. Like, this is awesome. The last stream we did, I smoked one of those cigars. So the next stream, I'll remember the name, and I'll give him a shout out. I'll even smoke one of the cigars he sent me on next stream.
Just means you'll have to return the favor at some point in time.
Yeah, I'll send him a couple. But what am I going to send him to impress him? He's got a legitimate lounge.
It's not the
It's
to
enough.
impress. It's It's you sent cigars to us all.
Right.
You find a box of cigars that you really like. Send one out or a couple out to each of the guys in the chat that was there.
Yeah, like he didn't on the return address on the box he sent me, he put my address. So I have no idea what his address is, but I could figure out the address of his shop and send it to him there.
Or just ask them.
I could do that too. But then it wouldn't be a surprise, now would it? Ding. These tongs are frigid. Levi, stick your tongue on these tongs and see if it sticks. Guys, you could not see it because he's behind the camera, but there is no hesitation to that whatsoever. He stepped up with more gusto than that kid from A Christmas Story. Loud noises. That does not want to come out of there.
Stuff, I'll show you.
And I don't have a strap to strap.
Ooh, you got that punch.
Well, I don't want to use my nice punch on that. Ew.
That's pretty soft metal, isn't it?
And stream better. Can't get the picture.
Yeah, right. I don't lose a finger. That's not helpful. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Oh, that'll do. Oh. Thank you. No, I hope I didn't burn my piece apart while I was doing all that. Ooh, a little bit. Those tongues are so cold.
Set them on the forge.
God dang. Like my hands are burning over here. Thank you. Whew. So yeah, so because of that cut, I got a little bit of a rag.
Dean says, it's in my humidor. I almost picked it earlier. It looks real tasty.
It is very tasty. So yeah, there's a slight rag on the end of that, so I'll probably just make it thin and then just snip it off with the old snips there instead of dealing with the hot cut again. And then it'll be tap it and drill it. And well, shape it and then tap it and drill it. And it'll be fine. It'll be great. Then I'll transfer that to the copper, drill it out, knock in the rivets. The rivets are made out of copper too, which is real handy because then I don't have to heat up the rivets. So yeah. Beautiful. So we'll clean that up just a little bit. And then we'll start doing the other thing. And hopefully we'll get this done here in about 15, 20 minutes or so. I'm trying to figure out if I can get these in my shoes.
I can feel the steel toe in my boots. Oh no.
Here, Brittany, do you want these back?
Yes.
My handles are nice and warm now. All right. Then all right, so I got this fancy Swage block. That also works really well as an ashtray, as you can see there. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of shaping on that flat bit to see if we can't get it to fit this cube. Oh, she did. Oh, I want my other hammer. That handle's cold too, but I can't set that over fire.
Try.
All right, and we do some shape. Pretty good. You're gonna have to rotate that 3 or 4 times to get that. So we're gonna set that aside for right now. do a little bit of work there. Good enough, I think. So now we're gonna do a center punch, and then we'll drill this sucker out. And I almost grabbed that with my fingers. That would not have gone.
And that's how cold he is.
Yeah. You know, I'd like to clinch this whole thing, so I can hold on to it. Mr. Levi, will you do the honors, please? Is that a block of ice?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Excuse me. Hey, on the bright side, this my drink staying nice and cold.
There is that.
So I got that going for me, which is nice. Thank you much. That's pretty straight. I might have to twist that a little bit. All right, so now we're going to make some center punch marks. Stick myself in the hat while I'm at it. In there. Thank you very much. So now, I don't know what camera we're on, but now we got holes in our handle material. Go. And we're just a little bit twisted, but I can fix that in a minute. Now, the old Sharpie. So we are definitely gonna have to adjust that. Collapse it just a little bit more. There we go. Now I have a Sharpie somewhere. Looks like this.
And then you find out it's frozen.
This has been in the house all day, so it would have frozen while we were out there. Ha, that worked out much nicer than the other Sharpie I was using. All right. So now, this is where it gets real awkward to try and center punch that on the curve. Hey, Mr. Levi, you want to give the boy a hand real quick? All right, grab my hammer if you would, please. but we're just marking it, so don't destroy it. But give it some love when you're ready. Yep. Ready? Yep. Beautiful. Thank you much. I have a drill. I still have a drill. Alright. I don't know if you can see that at all, but we got holes in the doodad now. And with a little luck, these will still line up. Get some old rivets out here. What's that word? What are these?
Punch rivets?
What are they called?
Punch rivets?
No, just the second word.
Rivets?
One more time?
Rivets?
One more time.
Rivets?
What are you, a frog?
Mostly. I do like my flies. I mean, fries.
All right. Doop, doop, doop. See if we can get this first one lined up there. And of course, because I reshaped that a little bit, the hole got smaller. Let's see if we can do this. Hey, you know that's how that works? Slide this out of the way. And actually, I want to go the other direction with this. I'm glad I thought of that before I started hammering on it, because that makes it more difficult. Size that into place a little bit. And then we will come out to the horn here. It's nice and supported, and I'm going to use the ball peen. Now we have one rivet set. I'll grab this other one here. That way through, do just a dry fit to make sure that still fits in there nicely. The fingers are very cold, so it's hard to get down in there. All right, so now we got it in there. And then we throw it on the floor. Because my fingers are cold and I can't grip on the things. All right, so that's a rivet for the 4 trolls. We'll grab another one here. All right, let's try this again without the oops. Because we are all cold and hungry. All right, so we got that set. Again, ball peen. And now we have ourselves a coffee scoop. Hooray. It's got a date with a grinder to clean up some of this a little bit. It's just a little bit twisted. You know what we're going to do? We're going to see if we can't get that hot and twist that back out without turning our copper into a puddle. So, that hot, you just twist that out. So once we get that twisted out, it's a complete coffee scoop. Hooray! And then, like I said, I'll take it inside to my grinding station, and I'll hit it with the wire wheel and make it look real pretty and nice and shine it up. And then package it up, put it in a box, send it out to my customer.
Goodbye.
And yeah, like I said, I think I'll send them the link to the video. Be like, hey, here's me freezing my toes off, making a coffee scoop.
How long that video would be, should also put together a short, just the.
Oh yeah, maybe I will just cut it down to like the actual work. There we go, that's pretty straight.
Run a couple clips of you on the wire wheel cleaning it up.
Yeah, I could do that. So, clean this up a little bit so we can present it here. There we go, that is one coffee scoop. How's camera 2 look on that?
Say it's kind of far out. A little bit.
Far out, man. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's a little better.
And I'm going to take a quick picture here and then send to the customer. Say, hey, look, it's completed. Nice, good picture. Boom. So, everybody, it's super cold. And we're going to go ahead and kill the stream. We're going to do a fire poker next week. Maybe I'll source some right size metal to do like a proper one, or maybe I'll just do a simple small one. But here's a sneak peek at what we were working on. Camera 2 real quick. We'll be doing something a little bit like that. This was a test piece that we did a couple weeks ago, but I'll basically replicate it and we'll do one. It'll be great. But I think we'll go ahead and kill the stream here. Levi, do you have anything to add? Any parting words?
Not big.
Miss Brittany, any parting words?
Goodbye.
She says goodbye. And as always, make sure you check out brimstoneforge.us for all the social medias and the TikToks and all that stuff, and of course the store. And if you just stumbled your way here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But I think that's going to be it for all of us here at Brimstone Forge. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight.